Beyond the Mic with Sean Dillon.
We're joined on the star line by one-third of the 60s folk trio, Peter, Paul, and Mary. His latest project is Just Causes, a compilation of 15 tracks, each with a theme of social concern. We welcome Noel Paul Stookey.
Hey, thank you. Nice to be with you, Sean. And yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day who asked me how this Just Causes album came to be. And I said, well, you know, I'm kind of embarrassed to admit I'm standing in the frozen food section of my grocery store, and I look at the Paul Newman's pizza cover the box, and it says 100% of profits to charity. And I think, you know, I've been very well taken care of in this career of mine over these 60 years, and it's about time I started thinking about giving profits to charities myself. And when I looked at the songs that I've written or collected or performed over these past 50, 60 years, I thought, hey, each one of these tunes has a message that would suit a particular charity. So I assigned each one of the songs to a charity, notified the charity, and then was blown away by the fact that many times the director of development or one of the characters who's in the administration of the nonprofit would get back to me and say, you know, I was 7 years old and my mommy and daddy took me to a Peter, Paul, and Mary concert. So, I mean, the life goes on, you know, the connection goes on.
How did you choose those charities? Was it just a random fitting, or were you trying to really take the song and take it where you were focused with, hey, I want to make sure that this money goes to this because these guys will do the best with it?
Amen, man. You just nailed it. That's exactly right. I have a team of maybe 2 or 3 people at New World Multimedia. We discussed all the alternatives, and, you know, we made some changes as we got closer to having to actually put the names on the albums. But we feel that the ones that we've picked are the best representations. Probably the weirdest one and the most narcissistic one is Music to Life, as they're getting the song called Not That Kind of Music. They get the proceeds from that. My daughter runs Music to Life, which is an organization that supports singers and songwriters, contemporary singers and songwriters who are probably not so well known, but who in fact want to make a difference in their communities. And so Music to Life mentors them, supports them, makes arrangements, introduces them to nonprofits in their community, and in a sense reestablishes the fact that music can make a big contribution towards not only understanding, but also raising funds for these organizations.
You've been part of some amazing moments in our country. Singing at the White House, singing before Martin Luther King Jr. What moment stands out to you among all the moments you've experienced?
My marriage. Are you kidding? My wife is listening to me. No, I hear what you're saying, and there is a balance for all of us between those highlighted moments when we first saw Abbott and Costello at a Baltimore Orioles baseball game, or we marched solemnly from a rehearsal that nobody really seems to remember for the March on Washington, that there were 2 performances, and that by virtue of having that rehearsal, we all, 250,000 of us, knew why we were in Washington before we got to the Lincoln Memorial, where the speech was, where the I Have a Dream speech was given. I think seldom do we know at the time that we are taking part in something that's bigger than us. But fantastically, Mary, who passed away in 2009, was standing next to Peter on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and turned to him and said, Peter, we are watching history.
Can you talk about that friendship and love that you have with Peter and the late Mary?
Well, we weren't family. As a matter of fact, we were so estranged from each other in cultural senses that the only song we could agree to sing first to find out what our voices sounded like together was Mary Had a Little Lamb. So I sang lead, Mary had a little lamb, and Peter sang harmony, Mary sang harmony. Then Mary took the lead. And, you know, there was You know the vibration that the Everly Brothers have when you hear their voices together?
Exactly.
We don't know why. Maybe it's a circumstance of the heart. But from there on out, we were like that committee in the United Nations. Yeah, we did not make a move together unless all three of us agreed. That was part of the simpatico. One of the additional things that happened, quite frankly, Sean, in our lives that we had no control over, was that we were named Peter, Paul, and Mary, which meant that we had individual identity. I think a lot of groups break up because it's Bobby Tuss and the Tussmobiles, and the Tussmobiles get mad because Bobby's getting all the press and they've got a life and they have talent. Well, that resentment or that envy or that separation never occurred to us because we each had our individual identities and a chance to express it on stage. And that was true in terms of the harmonies that we created too. They weren't the logical straight across harmonies. We picked harmony. Yeah, exactly. Stew Ball was a racehorse. It was a particular song that, I remember coming up with a part that was, Stew Ball was a racehorse, wish he were mine. It loped like a racehorse would lope. And we made many decisions that way. Music made, we tied the music into the lyric as often as we possibly could.
How has the love you've received from the 60 years of Peter, Paul, and Mary and your own personal fans helped you?
I think to a large extent the embarrassment that comes with not feeling that you're worthy of it causes you to say, well, what is love anyway? Is there a source? Is there a love that's a capital L? Is love to be shared? What's the difference between love and admiration? Where is the component of respect and kindness? How are they related within that fabric that we call love? So the shorter answer to your question is, of course, that gift that we were given, which is mutual, to be able to give music, have it heard, have it understood, and then be thanked for it, is kind of an underlying principle of the world in which we live. And one of the tracks on the Just Causes album is Revolution 1 by 1, that talks about the fact that if we're going to change this world, it's going to be on a 1-by-1 basis.
100% of Just Causes go to incredible charities, and it is available now. We thank Noel Paul Stookey for taking the time to talk with us today.
Hey, Sean, it was good to see you on Zoom.
Thank you very much. And that, my friends, is a Beyond the Mic shortcut.